welcome back to the GSL up and down matches. We could potentially only have one game left to decide who gets out. We'll tell you guys why in just a second. Stats are going to pop up on the screen. Songduri is the only player so far able to advance with a 3-0.
Takes the group with a 3-0, advances to the Premier League, and now we are going into the next match, which is actually YoDa versus Super. And if YoDa takes this game, then he is 3-1 and nobody will be able to catch up to him. At least nobody that he didn't beat before. So if YoDa takes it here, then he will advance to the Premier League together with Songduri. Yep. Super has to take the match.
Yeah, and you know, if Super does take it, we could potentially end up with a 3-way tie. It's very possible. Flying is already out. Of course, he's now the sandbag of the group, the punching bag, if you will, where people are just going to get points off of him, or he's going to take points away from them, but he cannot advance from the group. This could be our last match. YoDa had a, you know, I don't want to say shaky. You know, we talked about this briefly before, but he had a start that was not very clean, but he was definitely able to take 2 clean wins after that. And if he takes his 3rd here in a row against Super, then he definitely deserves to get out, and he will.
For the 3-way tie to happen, we need actually like very, very specific results in all of the 3 games that are still available. We would have Super to advance over YoDa, Savage to take down Flying, and then Songduri take a win against Super. That's the only constellation where we would actually have a 3-way tie. As it is, Super, if he wins 2 games, he will advance to the Premier League, and if YoDa takes the match, then he's also through. The only player who has to hope for the 3-way tie and has no chance of qualifying for the Premier League directly is Savage, but he's still in the run. So we're going into the game. We have the GSL Up and Down Group A with Paolo and Wolf. Protoss player for Team MVP starts to the bottom left of Newkirk. This is in red.
MVP Super.
Super so far with a 1-1 in the group. He's going up against his Terran opponent. 2 wins, 1 loss today. And to the bottom right, it is
AGIN YoDa.
YoDa is going for a proxy play. He sent his first SV across the map already.
You know, I don't blame him, and you know why? Because Super has an 83% win ratio in this matchup. He is 10-2, and he won against YoDa before. He won against Marine King, Byan, Maru, Cop, and he won against Gumiho. The only match that he ever lost in Terran versus Protoss in Heart of the Swarm offline was an 0-2 against Gumiho recently. That was the only match against Terran that he ever was not able to win. So I do not blame YoDa at all for the proxy here.
You know, I'm not sure if he's going to go Reaper or if he's going to fly his barracks and try to go Marauder in the main. We've seen that a few times.
Reaper. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a Reaper build.
You know, I'm not so sure, but it seems more likely. But the placement here is so...
That would be super
It's so close. You know, the way he's rallied his barracks prematurely here lends me to believe also that it will be Reaper, because there's no reason for him to have rallied it, otherwise he would have just lifted it.
Here comes
and there's
the Reaper.
He can try to bunker the edge though with his SCV. That's what he should do. He should try to skirt around the edge. Oh, I can't believe he doesn't do that. He could have done so much more with this.
Yeah. He scouts first, and let's see what YoDa can accomplish here. Keep in mind, YoDa winning this would put him into the Premier League. And Super so far hasn't scouted anything. The Reaper, number 1, is rallied into the main base already. A second barracks is being built all the way back at home. And the SCV is still having a bit of a poke here, still looking, not getting that bunker up. Could try to do that also behind the mineral line and just block a little bit more. But for now, we have the Reaper just trying to chase down. Oh, the probe doesn't find it, goes into the main base. There is nothing built just yet. We don't have... Oh! That was close.
Really great position here for the Reaper to be on. Starts going for gas probes here. And even the SCV fighting a little bit to do some extra damage. Looks like there's no plans for a bunker on the table here. He gets a second probe now. And it looks like maybe even a third one will go down. Good micro so far.
There's no unit being built, only the mothership core. That's the only thing that he's building right now. Could get another probe. Ah, miss micro here by YoDa. That was an easy kill right there. Another Reaper comes into the base. No energy, of course, for the Photonova shot. Nice, he gets 2 more.
He can target that weakened one in the in the main base as well here. Does not target it. YoDa's micro here actually a bit poor, but he still does...
He killed 4 damage so far. He killed 4 up to this point, and now he builds the bunker, but he builds it at home to make sure that if the mothership core flies across the map, that he doesn't take damage here.
Yeah, I like Super's position way more right now. You know, the only reason why he only started that mothership, of course, he didn't have enough gas to get anything else out, and he's even trying to produce a Marine off of that barracks, and I guess he can get away with it for now.
Well, the Stalker is here, and the Stalker is shutting that down immediately.
Yeah, he's this pressure is done. And YoDa starts a CC at home, but it's on the high ground, and
it's late.
It's very late, so I like Super's position so much more here.
I feel I could have done a little bit more with this. He certainly tried, but losing that second Reaper was a bit of a problem. Never started to build a bunker there. We had immediately the fast mothership core. Could try, yeah, he's going to take down that probe if he sacrifices the Reaper. Doesn't even have to sacrifice it. No, moves back. 5 Harvesters killed with that early aggression. But still, Harvester count in total, 22 against 25, even with a Mule. It's a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, bunker salvaged here. Because he doesn't need it anymore. He's getting a second gas. The Reaper continues to be a great scout. And CC finished up back at home as well for YoDa. He's making it to an orbital. So this is just way later than you would want this to be ideally. Once the barracks goes home, he will have that extra production.
Yeah, it screws a little bit with Super's build, but Super is just such a great player in this matchup. And well, if you look at YoDa, we have no engineering bay for him, so the forge is a lot faster for Super, so they can access his upgrades. The tag has been started for YoDa back at home, and he does not have the second mineral line just yet, so the income is definitely in a good spot for Super here. And thus, yeah, the Reaper that is moving in here will not be able to get any kills, especially not with the second Stalker moving in. Yeah. But he's going to scout. He's going to find out what happens.
He wants to see whether the forge is there or not. He sees it, and well, you know, he gets one kill. That should not have happened, but he could even escape. Does not. Just try to damage here.
Yeah, close to taking down another probe, but the Stalker is there in time. +1 armor now has been started, and Super is going straight into the robotics bay to get his plus out.
The worker count is 38 to 29, and yeah, there are of course mules on the table, but with only 2 CCs, with that discrepancy, which will continue to grow with more chrono boosting, Super's economy is excellent right now. Making observers to scout, get vision about possible drops coming in. I'm really liking Super's place here. His robotics here is also going to be timed out well enough to where the first aggression that YoDa can put on him is going to be shut down easily.
Yeah, for YoDa we have the +1 attack upgrade now started, but of course the armor upgrade is a little bit faster. He can chrono boost that as well. With the Stalkers that are moving across the map, just a little bit of a poke here, trying to gain that map control, make sure that he knows exactly what the Terran player's position. The difficult point, of course, or the time in the game where it's a little bit difficult for a Protoss player to really react to what's coming is when we have the medivacs out, and that's going to be the case very soon. But with the position that we have for the observers, he should know about all those medivacs immediately. And with his own tech up this fast, the position for Super is pretty good.
Yeah, it certainly is. There are certain ways that YoDa can get back into this game, but it's most likely going to be off of him macroing perfectly and Super just, you know, making a few mistakes. If the game continues at this pace, like, YoDa needs to do damage, but he can't do damage. He needs to take a risky expand, but that's something he can't really do right now either, because it's spotted Super is going to take him apart. He also has observers all over maps, so there's no way he can hide it.
YoDa needs to do something now. He will fall behind in upgrade significantly with the second Forge coming up, and also the Twilight Council. So he's trying to do damage with the Marines, but the Colossus is already there. He needs to stim. He doesn't have combat shield just yet, so the stim hurts even more. And this is not a good position to be in. Maybe with the mobility of the medivacs, YoDa can drop into the main base, but if Super holds this with flying colors, then the Protoss player should be able to take this game, since he has such a great lead in upgrades.
And that observer, YoDa doesn't see it. He thinks this is all a big secret, but Super knows exactly which angle the medevac's coming from. If the observer wasn't there, maybe YoDa could try even get a quad drop off where he sends 4 medevacs in the main base. But look at this, the army's already waiting. The observer saw exactly where the medevacs were going to go.
He's losing more and more time now, and he doesn't even start the +1 armor upgrade. He's losing a couple of precious seconds here. We should see it coming up in just a few, but at this point he doesn't realize that a +1 attack is already done, and he loses time. Building that third CC, trying to get ahead in economy, also waiting, of course, for combat shields, but a dire situation to be in nonetheless.
Oh, I like this scan, though. He finds there's nothing here. A few zealots. forces the overcharge, and he goes for the Nexus, but it's not going to work.
Yeah,
but it was still a good move.
It was a decent move, yeah, but at the right side we see that additional observer. Oh, nice move in, but the time warp has been started. Of course, we have the mothership core being taken out, but still, that was doing some damage, and he could actually try to chase this down. That's exactly what he's doing.
You know, little moves like this can help you a lot, but he needs like 50 of them to really catch up to where he's lost, and those extra sims he had to use at the end of the day are actually going to make it not worth it.
Not at all. The third base is coming up for YoDa, and he has +2 armor, nearly completed. The worst attack upgrade is about to be done. His upgrade lead is getting insane if he actually manages to get the next set started immediately, and that's what we see, +2 attack, there it is. So the position for Super is a really good one, even though in supply they are very similar.
You know, Blizzard added a ton of things in this new patch, but my favorite one is actually the +2 is much clearer to see now. I really like that. Even when I'm playing as a Protoss, I see that I'm like, ooh, that looks good.
That's
oh, this is nice
there.
right here.
Exposing that Colossus a little bit.
He needs to make sure he gets the Nexus. That's much more important than getting a Colossus here.
He won't be able to stop
and he can't get the Nexus now. Oh, this is horrible for YoDa.
There's another thing though that Super didn't start yet, and it is range for Colossi. So not quite sure if that's actually a choice or a mistake, and I guess we're gonna find out pretty soon if he goes into the upgrade. For now, he just blocks the third. But yeah, there is still the +3 attack armor upgrade has been started, but we do not have range for Colossi. He only has 2 though.
Yeah, YoDa in a terrible position otherwise, and he is mined from his third base a little bit longer, but the upgrades and all the resources that Super spent on his tech kind of equalize that. YoDa needs to take perfect engagements. He needs a successful drop. He needs something to get back into this game.
Super is getting immortals, which I find kind of interesting. I mean, he has 2 already. He gets even the 3rd. So it looks like he is just trying to bait out a lot of Vikings and focuses a lot more on his ground army. No range upgrade for the Colossi still. And the way that he plays, I feel at this point this is not a mistake.
Yeah, it's definitely intentional. I mean, if he were getting more and more Colossi, we'd be making fun of him. Here comes the Doom drop, and he's got enough for 1 overcharge, but I think their army is close enough that this is not going to work. He loses 2 Marines on a Marauder, doesn't get anything done.
Yeah, and he loses time as well, has to move back immediately. So YoDa is just trying to look for dents in the armor, but he just doesn't find anything. He goes in the main base, and the Protoss player is there. He tries to attack at the natural at the same time. Same problem. And even the 3rd is being defended. Here we go again, though. First Colossus is going to not fall with 4 hit points survives.
Yeah, it's YoDa's worst day ever in this particular map right now that he's playing. I would like to see YoDa take another base, to hide a base, so something like this, because attacking against an army that's superior to his in every way when it comes to tech and upgrades is better, but...
Talking about the upgrades, this is a 1-1 situation for YoDa, and we have 2-2 done for Super. The 3rd armor upgrade nearly finishing. The upgrade lead for Super is gigantic, and it looks like YoDa is trying to finish it, but I just don't think he can.
I don't think so either. The SCV's coming off the line here. He targets down the Colossi. A few SCVs coming, but they're so far behind, and, well, maybe. There's not a lot of Zealots left. The Immortals here look like they're going to clean it up.
Yeah, the Immortals are targeting well. The SCVs are coming in. Yes, the Colossi are gone, but this is just too much. The upgrades alone. This is without the 3rd armor upgrade, by the way.
GG.
Super wins the first game, and YoDa, now he's in a... Well, YoDa before this was in a position where he himself could put him into the Premier League. Now it's YoDa's time, Super's time. If Super wins his last game, he's going to the Premier League.
Yep. What a straight-up game there that we saw from Super. That's how he's so good in this matchup. You know, Super reminds me of Rain a lot, actually. They play very similar styles, defensive. You know, they have little variations in their play, like Rain actually adds his Templar faster than most Processes. You're looking at Super, he did something really cool where he added a bunch of Immortals and baited out the Vikings. He knew he was ahead in army enough to where he could do that. Just little tiny tweaks in their play, but I really like that type of Protoss versus Terran play. He really showed a good match there. The Reaper could have done much more. We talked about this a lot, but the Reaper play, what if YoDa, he went up there, he saw there's no probe seeing his SCV, he could have actually bunkered on the edge and done so much more damage.
The next game coming up is going to be Savage versus Flying, and this map doesn't really matter for Flying anymore. He's already out and he knows it. He's 0-3 in the group. But it matters a lot for Savage because and it also matters for YoDa by now because YoDa didn't win his game. So if Savage wins this, it means we could have a 3-way tie. If Savage loses though, then Super is going to advance together with YoDa. Because of the situation that we have in the group, it's very important for Super here that Flying wins. if he doesn't win, if Savage takes it, then Super can still go into the Premier League without having to play a three-way tie. If he wins his last game, that would be against Songdery. But if the Jin Green Wings player is not able to take down Flying, that would mean that he and YoDa would have to play in the Challenger League next season.
We'll see if Flying can pull something out here. The build he chose earlier on Newkirk seemed like there was a decent idea there, but Songdery just smashed him down easy peasy with the build order he chose. He put on some aggression, played safe behind it, didn't lose a lot to the Void Rays. Whirlwind, a very, very different map than Newkirk. It's the least head-to-head map. It's the most open map. The map that goes to late game. It's all about position engagements. And what is Flying going to show us? Only time will tell.
Yeah, this is of course once again one of those matches where you know right from the start that it doesn't matter to your opponent. And this is like, it's a very dangerous position because on one hand Flying could just be like, yeah, whatever, and he goes for an all-in, but that makes him also very unpredictable.
Yeah.
So Savage feels probably quite well. He will fight to the last second. The Flying won't probably do that, but let's find out if Savage can take it. It's important for him on YoDa to win here. Flying, for him it's about the honor of taking a map. We're going into